Chapter 5: Cranes and Other Hoisting Equipment. Section 1: Scope. This provision in this chapter apply to overhead traveling or bridge cranes, storage bridges, gantry cranes, portal cranes, jib cranes, hammerhead cranes, pintle cranes, wall cranes, tower cranes, and any modification of this type which retain the characteristic feature of the above-mentioned cranes, except when a provision specifies a particular type of crane. Boom: a timber or metal section of or strut which is pivoted or hinged at the heel or lower end at a fixed point on a frame, mast, or vertical member. Its head or upper end is supported by chains, ropes, or rods to the upper end of the frame, mast, or vertical member. Boom type excavator: a power-operated excavating crane type machine which is used for digging or moving material. Some excavators of this type are commonly known as a dipper stick shovel, buck diggers, trench hole shovels, draglines, grub buckets, clamshell or orange peel excavator. Booming, loofing, or topping: raising or lowering the head of a boom. Brake electric: an electric motor acting as a brake by regenerative counter-torque or dynamic means. Brake electrically operated: a friction brake actuated or controlled by electrical means. Bridge of an overhead gantry or storage bridge crane. Structural member or member supporting one or more trolley. Buffer: a cushioning device at the end of a trolley, bridge, or other moving part of a crane operating on rails to minimize shock in this event of collision. Common types of cranes. First, boom type mobile crane, cantilever gantry crane, crawler crane, gantry crane, hammerhead crane, jib crane. There are common types of hoist. First, base-mounted electric hoist, similar to the overhead electric hoist except that it has a base or feet and may be mounted overhead on a vertical plane or any position for for it is which design. Clavis suspension hoist: a hoist whose upper suspension member is a clavis or a U-shaped structural member designed to carry pulling loads. Hook suspension hoist: a hoist whose upper suspension member is a hook. Monorail hoist: a trolley suspension whose trolley is suspended for a single rail. Next, overhead electrical hoist: a motor-driven hoist having one or more drum or sheaves for rope or chain and supported overhead. It may be fixed or traveling. Simple drum hoist: a hoist with one or more drums controlled by manually operated clutch, brakes, ratchets, and pole on drum and control levers, which is operated by hand or power. Double drum hoist: a simple drum hoist having two independent hoist drums. Next, Section 3: General requirements for cranes. Access to cage, cab, or machine house is required. First, access to cage or machine house shall be afforded by a convenient placed stationary ladder, stairs, or platform required a step over, no gap exceeding 300 mm or may exceed to 815 mm, shall be so located that a person approaching or leaving the crane shall not be exposed to dangerous hazards. Next, for the bridge and gantry cranes, there shall be a ladder, stairs, or safety means of provided convenient access for bridge walkway. Next, when a necessary when necessary to go out on booms or bridges to oil the blocks or the other parts of the machinery, each boom or bridge shall be equipped with a suitable oiler, walk, or platform with grab irons giving access to the outrigged blocks and machinery. Next is when practicable every where 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 practicable every overhead traveling crane walkway shall have a headroom of at least 1,950 mm. However, such headroom is not practicable when the crane shall be at least 1,500 mm clearance or shall be omitted from a crane and a permanent elevated platform attached to the building at the end of the crane runway will be provided. Outdoor cage cabs and machine houses. The cage cabs or machine houses on cranes used in inclinement weather shall be enclosed to protect the operator. Warning devices. Next is fire extinguisher, controllers, hoist limit switches, brakes, foot brake pedal. For foot brake pedal shall be so roughened or covered with high friction material that the operator foots will easily be slipped off. Will not be easily slipped off. Locking devices. A locking device is capable of withstand 50% more than the maximum rated load shall be provided on each hand or foot operated hoisting motion brake unless a paw is provided on the drum. Brakes for bridge and swinging motion. Booming mechanism, runway bumpers, trolleys. For another general requirements for crane under Section 3, bridge or gantry buffers. If there is more than one crane or the same runway, buffer or other cushioning devices shall be placed between the crane at both ends of the bridge or gantry. Truck fenders. Bridge truck wheels except on underhung crane shall be equipped with fenders which extend below the top of the rail and project in front of the truck wheels. Gantry tower, hammerhead or portal crane truck wheels shall be equipped with wheel guards or be otherwise similarly guarded at the both ends of each truck, preventing a person being crushed beneath the wheels. Capacity marking and load indication. The maximum rated load of all cranes shall be plainly marked on each side of the crane. Each variable reduced boom type crane shall be equipped with a safe load diagram or table which will be given clear indication of the permissible loads at the various radii. If change speed gear is used on lifting motion, the rated load for each speed shall be similarly indicated. Runway repair. No repairs on traveling cranes runway or within such proximity to the same as constitute a hazard to workmen shall be made unless a wheel stop of a height at least equal to the radius of the wheel is secured to each rail and the warning sign is placed of each rail with a reasonable distance from the worker or properly shielded railroad through or watchmen are used to warn workers to approach the crane. Crane runways. Each runway column shall be securely anchored to foundation. The structure shall be free from excessive vibration under operating conditions. Runway girders shall be level and parallel with commonly accepted engineering tolerances. Rails. And lastly, clearances. All traveling cranes, the supporting truck or wheels at which travels rails on the ground shall be at least 600 mm clearance between the crane and stationary structure or, or truck or pulse materials. Section 4. Boom type mobile cranes. Operating levers. Lever-operated control shall be provided with a mechanical device which will hold the handle in the off position, requiring voluntary effect to remove it from off to the on position. The operating lever shall be located within the convenient reach of the operator. Boom stops. Boom shall have a device designed and constructed to prevent the boom from falling over backwards. Capacity marking. Access to cage, cab, machine, and boom blocks. Protection from protection for operators of outdoor cranes. Gauge glasses. Couplers. Lubricator glass. The steam lubricator glass on all locomotive cranes and steam shovels shall be effectively guarded to prevent injury to flying glasses unless the lubricator is of the bull's eye type or sight feed glass. Section 5. Hoist. Limit switches, brakes, hoist trolley, frames, capacity marking, stops, control equipment, warning devices. Section 7. Auxiliary hoisting equipment, hoisting chains and ropes. All chains, wire ropes, and fiber ropes used for hoisting purposes shall be sufficient strength to safely lift or otherwise handle the loads. Every hoist chain, wire rope, and fiber rope in hoisting drum shall be sufficient length that enough hoist hook shall be at least reach the floor, ground, or lowest working level. Hooks, slings, and fittings. All hooks, slings, and other fittings shall be of correct size for work to be done and shall have strength sufficient to safely sustain the loads imposed upon them. End attachment, chain splices, hoisting of sling, hooks, rings, and chain links defective. Sheave nip points, all nip or contact points between ropes and sheaves which are permanently located within 2,135 mm from the floor or working platform shall be guarded. Section 8. Operating rules. Size of load. A crane, derrick, or hoist shall not be loaded beyond the rated capacity or safe working load, whichever is smaller. Attaching the load. The load shall be attached to the hook by means of sling or other suitable and effective means which shall be properly rigged to ensure the safe handling of the load. Chains and wire rope slings shall be freed of kinks or twists before use. Basket tubes, skips, or similar containers used for hoisting bulk material shall be loaded so as not to exceed their safe capacity, carrying capacity. Riding on loads. No employee shall ride on loads, slings, hooks, buckets, or skip boxes except under condition or exception covered by the other rules of division. Holding the load. When a load of any kind is to be suspended for any considerable time, the dog or paw of one is provided shall be used in addition to the brake, which shall be also required. Cranes, hoist, or derrick shall not be left unattended when load is suspended over water, is barricaded, or is blocked up, or otherwise supported from below during repair of emergency. Limit switch. Before an electric crane is operated for the first time during any shift, the operator shall test the operation of the limit switch over a cleared area under no load and shall report any defect to his employer, who shall have the defect corrected before the crane is permitted to operate. The limit switch shall never be used as an operation control unless sent for such use. Signaling. Only qualified employees shall give signals. No one would give signal except employees who are specifically designated and authorized to do so by the employer. Crane operators shall not accept signals except from those specifically des- designated and authorized to give same. Posting of signals required. It is recommended that the following standard signals shall be adopted and used in connection with the all hoisting operation. Posting of signals required. Hoist with forearm vertical, forefinger point, move hand in small horizontal circle. Lower, arm extended, palm down, hold position rigidly. Stop, arm extended, palm down, hold position. Emergency stop, same as to palm down, hold position, but move hand rapidly right and left. Raised boom, arm extended, fingers closed, thumb pointing upward, move hand up and down. Lower boom, arm extended, fingers closed, thumb pointing upward, but with thumb pointing down. Swing boom, arm extended, point with finger in direction of motion. Bridge travel, arm extended, hand open and slightly raised. Wave forearm in direction of travel while facing in that direction. Rock or trolley travel, palm upward, finger closed, thumb pointing in direction of motion and horizontally. Posting of signals required. Whistle signals. Hoist. 2 short blast. Lower. 3 short blast. Stop. 1 short blast. Emergency stop. Series of short blast. Raised boom. 4 short blast. Lower boom. 5 short blast. Stop booming. 1 short blast. Swing to right. 1 long and 2 short blast. Swing to left. 1 long and 3 short blast. Stop swinging boom. 1 short blast. Section 9. Under Chapter 5, Inspection. The employer shall require that fast-moving parts such as wire ropes, bearings, gears, friction clutches, chains, drives, and other parts subject to wear be inspected at adequate intervals and any unsafe condition must be corrected. The engineer must be required to keep properly accomplished log books indicating the date of inspection and the action made of each and every equipment under his area of supervision. Mechanically and electrically operated brakes shall be inspected periodically as often as necessary. Repairs and adjustments must necessary should be made immediately. Cranes handling molten metal shall be inspected at least once a week when in use and necessary repairs may be correctly according to.